Hi, everyone that's joining. This is Mike Michalowicz here, and I want to welcome you to Profit First Professionals. We're going to talk about today specifically a process to grow your business healthily, organically, actively, quickly. We really found member after member of the Profit First Professionals organization using the method I'm about to share with you is doubling revenue, quadrupling profits, in very short time spans by following this process. But before we kick things off, because I know before I did a presentation once and the audio wasn't working, so I want to make sure you can hear me. If you'd be so kind, just in the chat or whatever, just post maybe where you are, what the temperature's like, and that way I know that you can hear me okay. So just post that in the chat as people are starting to join on board, and we'll start up in just a second or two. Oh my gosh. California, 105, Chrissy. Wow. Georgia, 89. It's interesting. So we're based out of the New York City area, and the temperatures are just have been delicious for the last week and a half. It's been in the 70s. So let's kick into it. As people join in, I just want to get rolling. First, let me introduce myself and the format of today's event. We are going to be talking about a strategy that we've developed for Profit First Professionals. It's an organization I've co-founded specifically to help accountants, bookkeepers, and coaches drive revenue, drive growth, and to be of greater service to their clients. And this call we are recording, so we are going to be sharing it with anyone that was unable to be on the call. Or if you want to get the recording once it's done to revisit it, by all means, just tell our team here and we'll get a copy to you. So first, introductions. My name is Mike Michalowicz. I'm the author of Profit First. You can see I have the book right there over my shoulder. I have been an author for 12 years now. I've been a business owner for approaching 30 years of my entire adult life. I've been a entrepreneur. I've worked with many accountants and bookkeepers and coaches throughout my career. And now I've endeavored through my business, Profit First Professionals, to specifically help accountants, bookkeepers, and coaches grow their businesses and be of greater impact to their clients. And we leverage the Profit First process. I'm going to share the technique with you now, but also I am going to share information about the Profit First Professionals organization toward the end of our discussion today. So that if you're interested in exploring it further, we can invite you to do that too. Total runtime, I suspect, will be done between 35 to 45 minutes from now. So let's get into it. What I found is, oh, and by the way, I don't use PowerPoints. This is my PowerPoint, so we're referring to a notepad, but I think it's going to serve us pretty well. I found that growth in an organization is driven by the intersection of three critical elements. Now, this is a classic Venn diagram. So that's those three circles that intersect to create a graphic. And it's at this intersection where businesses experience explosive growth, particularly the ABCs, accountants, bookkeepers, and coaches. And how to do this is by leveraging three elements. So let's dig into it. The first element that every business must have is a uniqueness, meaning what makes your business unique in the market? How are you distinct and different? One way to do this is by embracing your own idiosyncrasies. How are you as an individual different? One of my favorite stories is about Apple computers, and I think it exemplifies this scenario. People say that our idiosyncrasies are most often expressed when we're children. So when you were in kindergarten, first grade, you don't know the rules of the social norms. So you behave the way you want to behave, you dress the way you want to dress. Very quickly, your peers tell you, if you don't dress like we do, we're not going to hang out with you. So you're not cool. You're not invited. Your teacher tells you to draw inside the lines. Very quickly, we are told what it is that will give us compliance to society's expectations. And we actually reject some of our uniquenesses, our own idiosyncrasies. Well, Steve Jobs had an idiosyncrasy that he leveraged to its hilt. So you can Google this one later. But Steve Jobs, as a child and as an adult too, had a phobia of buttons. These things, buttons, they freaked him out. If you're curious why he wore a turtleneck, that was the main impetus behind it. He definitely wasn't wearing button-fly jeans. He had a phobia of buttons, so you can Google that at some point. And here's how he expressed it or used that uniqueness to distinguish Apple computers. At the time, when this came about, Apple, Steve Jobs, noticed the greatest opportunity was no longer in the PC, but in the smartphone. So I have my phone right here in my back pocket, but the smartphone. This represented, in his belief, the biggest opportunity for computing technology in the near future. And the dominant player at the time was BlackBerry. Perhaps you even owned a BlackBerry at one point. So BlackBerry was dominating the market, and out comes this edict from Steve Jobs that we want to beat BlackBerry. We want to own the smartphone market. Now, the traditional mindset when it comes to competition is not to pursue uniquenesses, but actually to become better than the competition. I would argue if I interviewed your competition right now, if I asked them if they were better than you and their other competitors, they'd say, of course. And I suspect you feel the same way. But that's the kind of the root or default protocol that many businesses have, is that better is better. And that's how you excel. And what we've discovered through our Profit First Professionals is that uniqueness is better. Better is not better, but different is better. And playing out Steve Jobs in that example, what Steve Jobs did was not pursue a phone with more buttons. In fact, I have one right here. I should cut this in my lap, but this, oops, let's drop the phone for a second. But this phone here was a Samsung phone, and you'll see behind it was that full keyboard. This was the concept of better phone development. BlackBerry had a lot of buttons, a business that could make even more buttons, more accessible, the better you would do. But Steve Jobs was rooted in his uniqueness, and his own oddity, uniqueness in his case, happened to be he didn't like buttons. So that became the declaration. Let's make the buttonless phone. And the first iPhone had one button sunken in, kind of hidden away so Steve wouldn't see it. And as a result, the entire industry changed. Apple was the first computer company to blend technology with art. They changed the entire perception. It wasn't just to be of service anymore. It was a piece of art. It wasn't just utilitarian. It was art. And as such, Apple Computer became the dominant player and remains, at least for now, today, the dominant player in the smartphone space because they blended technology with art. They exploited uniqueness. The biggest opportunity that you have to grow your business is to exploit a uniqueness. How are you not better than the competition? How are you distinct? Because better is invisible to the competition. I mean, maybe not a great example, but say I answer the phone on 2 rings and you answer the phone in 1 ring. If you answer the phone in 1 ring and I answer in 2, you are definitely better. You're actually 100% better. But would the customer base even notice? It's unlikely. You see, for our clientele to see how we're better, it's pretty difficult. They just say, well, an accountant's an accountant, or a bookkeeper's a bookkeeper, a coach is a coach. They see us as kind of standardized. But when we offer something that no one else does, a buttonless phone, when we offer something that no one else does, we distinguish ourselves in the market, and now we stand out. So by being unique, you stand out. And we found that our members at Profit First Professionals have a uniqueness. We offer profit consulting, which is very uncommon in the accounting, bookkeeping, coaching space, and it catches the attention of prospects. I'll share a little more about how you can leverage that exact strategy in a little bit. But my first challenge to you is, how is your business different than the competition? That's what we need to take a stance on. It's your differentiation, not how you're better. The second component is it must resonate with client demand, of course. I call it top clients. Meaning, you could do something that's unique, but there has to be a customer base that wants to consume that uniqueness. That's top client demand. If we go back to Steve Jobs, one interesting approach that they took when they rolled out their computing devices, they didn't say Apple's for everybody. They first went after a very specific community, a community that it resonated with, someone who had the greatest need. And since technology was from Apple was on this art and technology blended slant, they went after communities that resonated with. So you may recall the introduction of Apple when it really became a contender in the market. They were going after design firms, marketing and ad agencies. They went after a community that had the greatest need and saw value in that differentiation. So step one for you, how are you unique in the market? How are you different than the competition? Step two is, who is the client base that sees that uniqueness as one of the most important factors in their own success? Correlate with that top client community, target that top client community, and now you have an opportunity for some serious growth. Most businesses don't go after a specific need clients have, they go after all clients. So maybe you've seen other people in this trap, maybe you've experienced yourself where we say, I'm in a bookkeeping firm that serves all small and medium-sized businesses. We've inherently, in that one move, diluted ourselves. We're not going after a very specific need where we can offer extraordinary differentiation. We're attracting a mix of clients, and it becomes very hard to drive revenue higher and higher because we are diluting our skill set. So what makes you unique? Who's the client base that has that very specific need that we can target and offer a repeated deliverable to? Consistency. One example of the necessity for a top client, a client that has a very specific need, back to your uniqueness, that I like to talk about is doctors, because I think it's very relatable. I suspect everyone watching right now has a general practitioner. I hope you do, and I hope you go for an annual checkup. The challenge that general practitioners have is they have a very wide breadth of services they must provide. They need to diagnose a huge amount of diseases. They need to be able to prescribe all these different topical or some ingestible medicines. But when an issue becomes extreme and it's life-threatening, or it's something that's outside the common general work that a generalist does, then you go to a specialist. So if you have an injured foot, or if you've had a heart disease or something like that, you go to a specialist. If you have heart disease, you're going to go to a cardiovascular surgeon who specializes in what you do. Now, the interesting thing is the generalist, they're lucky to get paid a $50 copay, and a cardiovascular surgeon, if the cardiovascular surgeon who can address your very unique needs, if they have a specialty service that satisfies what you need and it will save your life, money's not an object. We'll pay any premium. The general practitioner is lucky to get people in their general audience, convenience buyers. If your general practitioner says, I'm moving across the country, would you continue to, fly out every year to visit with me? You would laugh. But if your cardiovascular surgeon is across the country, absolutely will fly to get there. You see, in any market, there is a top client community that sees extraordinary value in what you're doing, and that it maybe is life-saving or life-altering for their business. They will go to extremes to engage your services because you are the authority in the space. And they'll pay a magnificent premium for that too. Cardiovascular surgeons are the ones with the mansions, and general practitioners, as a rule of thumb, are the ones that are struggling with student debt. And I'm not saying it's fair or appropriate, and I really think people should pursue what they're passionate about, but the financial opportunity is very clear. It's in being a specialist. And so that's what I'm encouraging you to do. What makes you truly unique? Who's the client base that puts great significance in that uniqueness and is willing to pay a premium for that? That's called the top client base. But you'll see these are only two elements. There's one more that you need to have, and it's systems. And what I'm saying here is that your business must be positioned to deliver your uniqueness to your top clients on automatic. If you can attract these prospects, the top clients, deliver your unique service to them, care for them, cater to their needs, have them raving about the experience, paying you well, of course, all while you're sleeping. That's the key. While you're unconscious, that is what a system is. How do you make your business run on automatic? Because if you want to scale your business, it needs to run without you. If you want to take a vacation, it needs to run without you, quite frankly. Sadly, many business owners carry the business on their back, and their way to scalability, to increasing revenue, is by working harder. That is not, I repeat, that is not the solution. The solution is a business that has the systems and infrastructure in place that you can continuously remove yourself from the business to ultimately where you're not needed in the business. And your business now is effectively a cash ATM, meaning it's generating revenue without your active input, and you as the business owner have the full right to reinsert yourself in the business the way you want to, what gives you joy, or not work in the business whatsoever, but you have a scalable business. In a business that hits these three elements, it's unique, has top client demand, and systematized, also is an acquirable business. This is a business, if you're planning for your future and you want to retire one day and have your business be a nest egg for you, if you structure your business around these three elements, the likelihood of you selling your business is far, far greater than if you're carrying your business on your back and doing all the work yourself. It's hard to sell yourself when you're looking to leave a business. It's hard to sell yourself when you're just looking to stay in the business too. I know because I've been through multiple transactions and selling my own companies. The companies, when I got the most valuation, it's because I had achieved this, extracted myself from actively being in the business. Instead, I was working on designing the outcomes I wanted, but the business was running on automatic under these three elements. Some people watching right now maybe have one or two of these elements. And I want to show you the traps. Maybe you have top client demand and you have a uniqueness about you, but it's not systematized. This is the time for money trap, TFM. And we talked about this, right? That's where you're sitting in this category. You have top client demand, you're unique, but it's not systematized. That forces you to carry the business on your back. You have to do the work because it's your uniqueness, your top clients, no systems doing it. The only way to generate more revenue is to work harder, time for money. The second trap is top clients with systems, but not uniqueness. And this is called the DPP trap. Over here, it stands for downward price pressure. This is where you have top clients that you can deliver an offering to consistently, but it's not distinct in the market. You're just another accountant. You're just another bookkeeper or coach. This is where the client says, well, you're exchangeable, you're expendable. So the only way to stay competitive in the market is, are you willing to charge less than the guy down the street? And that, if you are, I as a client will stay with you. But since you're not unique, if you're not willing to drop your price, I will go elsewhere. So maybe you've had clients like that pushing you down in price. With the commoditization of our industry because of the advancements of technology, I've talked with the team at Intuit, FreshBooks. I was just talking with Mike McDermott recently, the founder of FreshBooks, Xero. These companies are aggressively competing with each other to deliver the most cutting-edge technology that does the accounting, compliance, the bookkeeping, everything from to reconciliations to adjustments to creating the chart of accounts, all on automatic, everything. That's what they're looking to aspire to do. And the first person or the company that gets it done is considered the winner. So we are experiencing what's really unique in our industry, downward price pressure, not just from competition, direct competition, but from the sophistication of software. So we need to have a uniqueness in order to combat that. There's one third scenario. You may be unique in the market, you may have systems, but no consumer wants what you're buying. I don't have an acronym for that. I do have a word for that. Yeah, you're screwed. You're screwed. So if you're unique and it's running on automatic, but there's no customer demand, you are screwed. The opportunity here is to be in this center spot. The opportunity for our business is to have top client demand, have a unique offering for that client that the clients see significance in, delivered on automatic. And this is happening. And now you have a business that can double, triple, quadruple revenues quite seamlessly because it's running on automatic and the demand and the value is seen in you. Now, we discovered this through Profit First. As I co-founded Profit First Professionals now just almost 6 years ago. And as we developed it, based upon the principles of the book, we advanced it. So the book, I'm very proud to say, has been now implemented by over 150,000 businesses. We're expecting another 50,000 companies to implement Profit First with the guidance of Profit First Professionals in the remainder of this year alone. So in the next, it's August as of this recording. So in the next 4 to 5 months. And of these businesses, we found there's a consistent need. This was actually conducted by the SBA, and there were some other factions involved in the study, but they found that 83% of businesses under $25 million in revenue, and I suspect, if you look at your client base, I suspect the majority of them are probably under 25 million. That's defined by the SBA as a company that's a small company. Of these businesses, 83% of them are surviving check by check. It's hand-to-mouth survival for these businesses. The number one need these businesses have is sustainable, permanent profitability, and they have no clue how to get there. That defines this opportunity. So we found there is massive opportunity, global opportunity in this top client space, 83%. Let me just make that a little clearer because my writing got messed up there. But 83% of businesses globally are in the need of profitability and direction on this. There's 180 million small businesses globally. So we're talking, massive numbers of opportunity of clients with a very specific need that the computers can't address. Now, the unique needs they're looking for is profit consulting. There's no question they currently need accounting and bookkeeping services, but to address their core need, the uniqueness they want is profit consulting. So we found that businesses, ABCs, accountants, bookkeepers, and coaches that introduce profit consulting services open up a swath of opportunity. And it's underserved right now. There's far more demand. 100+ million companies, say it's 83% of 180, maybe like 140 million, I think. 140 million businesses, give or take 10 million, seeking profit consulting services immediately and right now because it's their biggest need. So here's the opportunity for you. I challenge you to become a profit advisor. In fact, our Profit First professional members, we tell them to use that exact term. So when they approach a prospect, and prospects says, what do you do? They say, well, I'm a profit advisor. And the client is like, whoa, I haven't heard of that. What exactly is that? If you can trigger your customers to say, what exactly is that? That means they're seeing you as unique. Because if you go to your accountant and say, you're an accountant, say, oh yeah, I know some accountants, or I'm a bookkeeper coach. I know those folks. Yeah, I know some people. But when you say you're a profit advisor, now it's a little bit of a deer in the headlights. Like, what is that? I've never heard of that. This gives you an opportunity to show your differentiation. Now, what we do at our company, Profit First, our members, Profit First Consulting is a plug-in to what they do. So we're not saying abandon everything else. Now we're going to do something that's very complementary to it. It's a gateway into accounting and bookkeeping services. And as those accounting, bookkeeping, and coaching services change over time because of the influx of competition and the influx of technology, you can lever more and more your profit consulting services. So top client demand, massive demand for, and a uniqueness. But again, colossal growth only happens when we get all three elements. Well, with Profit First professionals, what we found is that you need a routinized system to consistently deliver this. And that's what we've developed. So just a little background on Profit First professionals. We've been doing this for now 6 years. We developed systems. We often give them names. So we have Pat, Petra, Carl. These are actually all technologies. Pat's the profit assessment tool where our members plug in the data that they extract from the clients. They can charge a significant premium for what they're doing because they're offering a unique service to a client base that desperately needs it. They use our PAT system to assess the client. The system chugs it away. It takes only seconds once the data is entered and spits out a final report. And our clients are no longer charging by the hour. They're charging on report-based stuff. And we've had clients, members of Profit First professionals, charge anywhere, it depends on the type of clients they're working with, $2,000 up to, we had one project sold for $40,000 recently. And the amount of work that is done is maybe an hour work of collecting data and putting it into the system. The investment the client's making is not in the time you spend, it's the investment in the research we've done to compile a sophisticated system that can analyze and give them a profit trajectory and rollout program. So that's where the opportunity is systematize what you do so that it runs on automatic, so you can dictate a premium for a top client base delivering a uniqueness where it's not contingent upon you. It gets you out of that time for money trap and you can drive a significant premium. So this is the model I want to put in front of you, and I hope you're documenting and challenge you to use in your business. What I want to do now is just share a little bit about our organization, Profit First Professionals. If you're interested in learning more and pursuing membership in Profit First Professionals, I'm going to share a few details about it. So our organization has been around for 6 years. Like I said, we specialize exclusively with accountants, bookkeepers, and coaches. We think those are the three categories that are becoming kind of melded together and have the most intimate relationship with clients and are the most likely to be able to leverage Profit First to its full hilt. It's a natural transition if you're already doing accounting or bookkeeping work for a client to do profit consulting. If you're already their sales coach or whatever, it's a natural transition to introduce growth consulting, profit consulting. So these elements are very complementary. As a member of Profit First Professionals, what you'll get are a couple core elements. The first is integration into our community. So we have right now, as of this recording, around 400 plus active members in this community. We have a global presence. We have a location here in the US where I'm broadcasting from. It's right outside New York City. We have a location in Amersfoort, the Netherlands, which is right outside Amsterdam. And we have a location in Melbourne, Australia. And combined, we have about 400 plus members that are delivering Profit First consulting services to their clients. As a member, you will get the branding of Profit First. Now, I'm very proud of this because Profit First, the book came out, the initial book 6 years ago. The newest release is only 2.5 years old. Profit First has become the #1 brand in the world. This book has been translated into 20 languages now, in the world on profitability, cash management, profitable cash management. So it is the most recognized brand. And as a, member of Profit First Professionals, you have the right, the license to leverage the brand, to distinguish your website. Profit First is searched for constantly on the web. Now you can put on your website to show that you're part of the Profit First family and that you're certified in our methodology. Also, as of this video that I'm recording right now, and we're doing a live broadcast, but for anyone that's watching the recording, we're also on the verge of rolling out a authentication badge so that you also get badgery or badging, maybe is the right word, badging for your website that a prospect can click on to validate that you're a active and certified Profit First professional. So it's a real great way to distinguish yourself. And as part of the systems, we have that technology I was sharing. We also have different marketing materials and stuff for you. So you get the done for you systems where you can roll out Profit First. You get the marketing material and the brand association. You also get our one-on-one guides here. So we have a small team of guides here at our office that work with all our members one-on-one. We're on the phone with you, guiding you through the process, training you on the advanced. So the Profit First system is the basic outline of the system. There is much more advanced stuff to learn and that you can service your clients with. So we teach you on all that one-on-one and in class environments and online consumption. But we're here to guide you through the process. In fact, we'll even help you with rollouts. When you get that first Profit First client, it's exciting. There's some great revenue coming in. And now there's the, oh crap moment, I got to deliver on this. So our team will actually dispatch, usually remotely, meaning over Zoom or whatever, but we'll work with you to make sure that we deliver an exceptional job to your client. You also get a certification, and the certification is that you've proven that you have achieved the knowledge and skill set necessary to implement Profit First. We'll expect you to roll out Profit First in your own business so that you live it on a very visceral level. You experience it. That's the best way to coach. We believe the best medicine to give someone is the same medicine that you consume. And we'll also give you all the technical training. You'll go through and have a final certification exam, which is online, but also leading up to it, we give you quizzes and stuff. We're here to support you. We want you to pass the certification exam. We want you to know Profit First comfortably inside and out so you can nail this with your clients. So we are very motivated for you to be successful with this. And the last but not least component, just to wrap back into this, is our community. The business we're in, if you're an ABC, it can get lonely. A lot of ABCs run out of their houses, small offices. We're behind the screen a lot. And so what I'm proud to say is that we've formed more than just an organization to differentiate yourself, but an organization to belong to, a family. So you will connect through our private sites and pages with members on a daily basis, if you so choose, answering questions, supporting each other. But also we have multiple live events. So we have a live training here at my actual office. I do the training along with my team here called Profit First Live, where you'll meet other PFPs, Profit First professionals. We have our annual conference called ProfitCon. It's every September, and it's a magnificent event on elevating your business. It's not your typical accounting show, showing off the latest technologies and so forth. Those are great, but this is all about elevating your business, new coaching techniques, ways to stand out, ways just for you to improve your business. That's a 2-day event. And historically, and I think we're doing it again this year, we end the event with a picnic at my house, with like hundreds of people in my house. We're in the yard and it's kind of packed in, but it's a blast. So that's what Profit First is all about. Now, Profit First Professionals, I want to share with you that we do have many applications coming in, but we've changed our structure. We are in a unique position where we have more demand. So we actually receive inbound inquiries somewhere between 20 to 30 a day now of entrepreneurs looking to hire a Profit First professional. And we field those and redirect those to qualified members. We also believe that about 20% of people looking for Profit First services are coming to us, and the remaining 8% are searching the web. So that's why we're going to give you the SEO tools to stand out. We have more demand right now than we can service with our membership. So we are actively looking to increase our membership, but it's very important to us that we have highly qualified members. So we get inquiries, a lot of inquiries daily of people who are saying, hey, I want to learn about PFP. I want to become a Profit First professional, but they're really kicking the can. And we would spend an hour or two on the phone with each person trying to teach them the stuff that I'm sharing with you over this half hour, 45 minutes together. And they would want to think about it. So what we found is the better approach is doing these webinars. The better approach is to first show you the structure, the format that you can use on your own if you so desire, or how we have built our system around this to leverage this to its hilt. That this is the core essence of what Profit First Professionals is all about. And so we found that this format's a better way to deliver this knowledge. And then if you feel it's suited for you, to accept your application. Now, let me share one last final component. And if anyone has questions, you can put it in the chat. But one last final component thing that's absolutely critical is what's the investment? So Profit First, we have a membership fee of $4,960 annually. Now, we also have a monthly installment program. So if you need, for fiscal responsibility, to change the cash flow, it's $496 a month that you can pay. Or if you do the annualized fee, you basically get 2 months free. You can pay $4,960 to become a member. And that's an annual fee. Every benefit I share with you is included in that. That you, except for the ProfitCon event, if you do decide to come to ProfitCon, we strongly encourage that you can get a ticket at an extremely discounted rate. But all the other benefits and features are included in that price. The one additional training fee that's only for the first year is there is a in-house deep dive training that you will experience here. I don't know the exact number. It's a little bit less than $3,000. So that's just budget for that. You do a deep dive training here at our offices with myself, the team, to really kick off your Profit First knowledge immediately, and then go into the remote training with our guides that are usually over Zoom calls and so forth. Then after that, then your price will drop to just the annual fee. There is no more training costs as long as you stay as an active member. Interesting. So one question came in. This is a great question. Is can you start with a monthly fee and then when it's appropriate, cut over to the annual fee to reduce your overall costs? The answer is absolutely yes. So some people like to start off with a monthly, and then as they start getting Profit First revenue in, start growing their business, it's more economically or fiscally responsible to pay the annual fee, and we'll do a proration, we'll prorate and adjust accordingly. So yeah, that's absolutely do that. We also do have a mastery level membership, which I'm not getting into the details here because we don't accept in mastery level members until you have passed your certification and show achieved proven skill set with Profit First and your clients. And then you can get invited into our mastery level. Mastery level has additional opportunities and benefits, some significant stuff. But we're starting at what's called the core level of Profit First professional membership. Now, we invite people in classes. I told you we have that training class. We limited it to 10 people. So here's what and there's one more thing before I share with you how to go about this. And I'll type it into the chat too. If you want to pursue membership, we now request a simple, fully refundable deposit. It's $495. And we asked for this because now we found that by doing this, we get people who are very serious about considering membership. We're not spending a couple of hours on the phone explaining the entire corporate structure and what we do and so forth, and then seeing if we should talk about it in the future. By requesting a deposit, what we found is now people are really investing time learning what I'm sharing with you now, and then hopping on the phone and asking very specific questions to make sure it's a complement to their business specifically. If during that call, if you feel that Profit First Professionals is not a fit for your objectives, we will immediately and fully refund your deposit at any time. And I also want you to be aware too that we are selective of our members. So we also are going to interview you to make sure you're a complement to where our organization's headed. And if you're not, we'll tell you why, and we'll say maybe this is something to consider in the future, but we will refund your deposit immediately. So this has just been a great way for us to bifurcate the people who are serious about differentiating their business, becoming part of the Profit First Professionals organization, getting certified in the system, versus the people who are kind of just kicking the can around. So let me show you how to do that. And then there's another few questions that came in I want to answer. So first I'll type it in, or I'll show it to you. I should say that. Here's my slide deck, right? So there's the website to go to, profitfirstprofessionals.com/get-started. So make sure you put that dash in the middle. It's profitfirstprofessionals.com/get-, make sure you have that dash in there, started. So I will type it also in the chat for people that are participating live right now. And while I type this in, if you have another question, I see one or two more that have already come in, just post them in the chat and I'll answer them for you. Professionals.com/get-started. Okay. And make sure this is available to all attendees. And submit that. So you'll see in the chat, just click on that link. What this will do is bring you to an information page with, oops, I typed in the link incorrectly. Thank gosh, I just tested that. So don't go to that link. I spelled get started wrong. It should say get started, not get darted. So let me try it one more time here. Get started. Okay, I think this time, let's see if that works. Let's try that link now. I just posted it and I'm testing on my machine to make sure it comes up. Yeah, and it does. So that link, get started at profitfirstprofessionals.com, will bring you to the page, give you more details, and you can place down your deposit. So let me go through some questions here. First is there a limited time to apply after this webinar? Yes. So we're doing it ideally out time today. So we're going to limit it only to 10 people to answer that question. So we're doing first come, first serve. We found that to be the best practice. If you put your deposit down now, you will secure, before the 10 people, you'll secure a spot. If you go to the Get Started page and try to process your deposit and it's rejected, it'll come up and saying spot's been filled. And then we can talk about consideration for next year's applicants. If you apply and put down your deposit now, and then you say, you know what, now's not the right time, again, we'll immediately refund you. The next question it says is, would you join Profit First if I am just a starting out bookkeeper? Will the certification need to be renewed with time, or things get added to the Profit First system? Yeah, so great question. If you're a brand new bookkeeper, let me give you both sides. If you're trying to build a bookkeeping business and you're brand new and you don't even have your first client, I wouldn't do Profit First yet. I would try to build my bookkeeping practice and become the best bookkeeper I can. Conversely, if you are looking to become a value-added provider bookkeeper, if you're looking to distinguish yourself in the market and right from the get-go, you think Profit First is a great way to differentiate yourself, then I'd absolutely consider it. So you pick the path. I would say it's a mistake to try to grow a bookkeeping practice to the extraordinary level and to grow a Profit First product offering at the same time. I would want to master one first and then do the other. The choice is, do you want to be a Profit First provider first and see what that drips into your bookkeeping, or do you want to do reverse, drive the bookkeeping practice and then see how that drives your Profit First opportunities? So pick the path. If you decide to really dominate the bookkeeping space first, I would actually delay Profit First. I think what's missing is what's the the upfront training. So the training fee is $3,000. It's actually a little bit less than that. I don't have the exact number. It's it's a couple levels of training. You will get trained here at our facility. So you will have to come out to New Jersey. We're right next to Newark Airport, LaGuardia, JFK. So we're at the major travel hub, and we're about 30-minute to 45-minute drive from Newark Airport, to give you a judgment of time. You'll come here. You'll go through an in-depth training with myself and our team on the Profit First methodology. Then after that, you'll go through an ongoing training over about 6 months of time where we teach you all the elements of the system, leveraging Profit First as marketing, distinguishing yourself in the market, serving your clients, and actually guide you through the rollout with clients. We'll help you with your existing clients, introducing this, and with new clients. And we will walk you through the process. We'll do this with you. And you'll implement Profit First in your business. This happens over a 6-month period. During that time, we're getting you prepped for the certification exam. So we give you quizzes and stuff like that to really get you prepped for it. After 6 months is when you take your certification quiz. You need to pass with an 85% proficiency. If you fail to pass, we will go through a subsequent training, and you can retake the exam up to, I think, every month. You can repeat the exam again, and it's different questions and stuff, so the exam changes, but the content is the same. We want to make sure that you're showing proficiency at Profit First. During that 6-month window, Profit First opportunities for many of our new members still present themselves. You can still introduce Profit First training services and or support, and we will help you through that process. So you can start delivering Profit First services to your clients, but you can't say that you're certified until you're certified. To carry the certification, you need to stay an active member. We have just the need for you to show efficiency at Profit First. There is not a need to take the Profit First, the CPA exam again. Once you've taken that, you've passed it. Right now, there's no requirements for that. We do update Profit First regularly, and we introduce you to the new technologies and concepts, but that's not necessary for recertification. And is there a way to get on the waiting list for the next class? No, we don't do that. We will send out regular notifications like we did for this exam. Just stay active and just revisit. Let me conclude on this. When it comes to should you be a Profit First professional or not, many people ask me, and I've seen great successes with it, and I've seen people that joined and just weren't ready for it. So here's my suggestion: is that when it comes to Profit First and considering membership, I really encourage you to trust your instinct and trust it now. If your instinct says, I really need to do this, but your thoughts are like, I'm afraid, I'm a little nervous, what if this doesn't work out? That's called being normal, and that's to be expected. We're going to guide you through that. If your instinct says, do it, do it. I also want to say the reverse, though. If your instinct says, you know what, this is not for me, but you're trying to logically say, this is the opportunity in the future, I really should be pursuing it. The instinct says, don't do it, then don't. And so I found our members who have excelled consistently trust their instinct, follow through on it decisively, and see results, even if it's going through fear. And we expect that going in. There's a lot to learn here, but we're going to walk you hand in hand through this process. So again, if your gut says do it, I found that's the best choice. And if your gut says don't do it, I found that's the best choice too. So trust your instinct. We're approaching the 45-minute window, so I want to respect our time here, and I'll let you guys go. So I'm just going to post the link one more time. And since we're also recording this, I wanted to show here, it's profitfirstprofessionals.com/get-started. So just type that in and go there. If and you'll be requested to put down a deposit. This is, again, how we're differentiating people that are very serious about this. It's a fully refundable deposit from people that are just kind of exploring and playing around with things. If you at any time feel it's not a fit for you, we'll refund it. And anytime we feel you're not fit at this time for this organization, we'll also refund it. But once you submit that, we'll schedule a call to line up a discussion, a detailed discussion with you one-on-one to make sure it's a fit and then proceed. I do want to, again, just remind you of this model. Regardless if you elect to join us at Profit First Professionals, join us in this movement of transitioning from a traditional ABC to a value-based provider. If you decide to join us, I'm excited, I'm thrilled. And this is the model that we're going to be working through together. But I also want to thank you for joining. And if you feel it's not a fit for you, and this is not an organization that you want to join, this model, I still want to really encourage you to follow this. I really appreciate you taking the time to discover this, to learn about what we have to offer. I am fully committed to your success. We're going to crush it together. That's my commitment. And, we have an opportunity to change the world, to bring profitability to businesses that never would have before, and to really increase the profitability of yours. So thanks again for joining. I'm wishing everyone tremendous success in the year ahead, and I hope I have the privilege to work with you at Profit First Professionals. Take care, everyone. You're welcome. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone. And go to that link right now, profitfirstprofessionals.com/get-started.